Okay, everybody, we have some fun to talk about today. First of all, the patch got delayed, so see you in a couple days with that. Today, we're talking about a legendary assault rifle that I personally was sleeping on. We're talking about the Whiskey Foxtrot. What? What do you mean, bro? Right? At glance value, it does seem kind of mid. Its legendary perk Scrap Cannon fires a spread of shrapnel from the underbarrel that deals, some amount of damage. It's going to basically have the target be on a debuff. Although I do think it's bugged and not even working properly. However, we're not even here to talk about that because what we're really here to talk about is this is a weapon, a legendary one specifically, that really benefits from the licensed part system. Because normally this Vladof assault rifle, it's a burst weapon, right? Pew 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 pew, which stinks because it has such a real strong high rate of fire. You know me, man, I love my bullet hose, especially Rafa. Rafa loves the bullet hoses as well. And with a weapon with this high of a rate of fire, you would really want to fire it full auto, now wouldn't you? Guess what? With the Ripper license mag of all licensed parts, the Ripper one's the main one that you want, as this will allow this weapon to fire full auto, and when it fires full auto, you feel it shredding. Now I'll be honest, this is not a bossing weapon, but for mobbing, dude, this thing is ripping apart enemies at UVHM 5. Also, it can roll with the Jacob's license accessory as well, giving it the ability to ricochet on critical hits. Thank you very much. We're going to happily take that and allow for this weapon to just spew, and I mean spew bullets. I thought the Onslaught was spewing. This thing's spewing faster, but it's better. It's just better than the Onslaught, and it's shooting faster. Now, if you would like to farm for this weapon, Directive Zero over in the Terminus District of Dominion in the Order Bunker is where you're gonna want to go. He is the boss in the Order Bunker of the Terminus District. Earlier this week, I was streaming on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Kree, KWREE, doing some phosphine hunting over at Directive Zero. That's where not only we got our shiny Whiskey Foxtrot, but that's also where we got our whiskey that we're using in the gameplay with the Jacobs and Ripper licensed parts, making this thing an absolute beast, way better than just a normal version of this weapon. Also, we got our Mo channel, which is a side channel for this channel for content that doesn't make it to this one. Links for the Twitch and that channel, top of the description. Let's go ahead and segue over to the live action portion of the video, shall we? Okay, so instead of doing the, where we run through a bit, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the setup first. All right, a little bit unorthodox. Haha, change it up. Now look, this is very unique because we can further increase the fire rate with this bad boy with our war paint here, which before I forget, I'm just going to throw this on. And yeah, our firmware, don't mind our firmware. It's designed to have the kill spring on just for a little bit more survivability. But for the sake of, sheer raw fire rate, sheer bullet hose, I'll put on the war paint real quick, show you all a demonstration. Then we'll put back on our kill spring and we'll go through. Now, obviously, everything else is gonna stay the same. So the crit knife, it will be getting changed come later this week, but for the time being, it's useful for the crits, but also the Deadeye firmware is just really good. And in the normal setup, it is required. It's the main piece in the ordnance slot that we have for Deadeye for the bonuses, right? Extra crit damage and then the crit stacks, right? Basically consecutive hits, Pearl, mini Pearl. If you played Borderlands 3, almost esque feeling with this firmware up. Obviously, you run the Dancer just to double the overdrive bonuses. It's easily Rafa's best class mod, right? We have the Cinder Shelly, probably a Wasp for Dinner's better. I have it just because I have Deadeye on it. I don't have any other Deadeye firmware shields at the moment, so anytime I'm using Deadeye firmware, I want the 3 bonus set. I'm just using this, but I would say a Wasp for Dinner's probably better. I do have a Hero of the Bullet here for the 2 bonuses, although the passives low-key could be better. Like, I would happily take, bigger mag size, crit damage, AR crit damage, anything like that, but I mean, it is what it is. We vibe, we rock. Here is our whiskey. Obviously, what makes this whiskey so good, that beautiful phosphine camo, I love it, is the Ripper magazine, because this allows it to skip what makes it normally not so much fun. Okay, so here is what a normal Whiskey Foxtrot is, right? If you look at it in my inventory here, it is just has a COV magazine. All right, so burst, and yeah, holding on trigger, it shoots really fast, but it's that awkward burst that it's not really vibing with that. However, with this one, with the Ripper magazine, what makes it so good is, yeah, you have to charge it, but yes, sir, That is exactly what I'm talking about. And then the cherry on top is that we got lucky with the Jacob's license accessory. All right, juicer, Directive Zero really blessed your boy up when I was farming him this week while he was the big encore. So for this skills, here's what we got. Now, in a perfect world, we could get further into Temerio, but this is not a perfect world. We can't, because these 5 skill points would essentially be wasted. Since we're using a dancer class mod, overdrive duration is pointless. It's only going to last while our action skill is up. So there's no reason to spec into this. This skin doesn't do any splash damage, so we don't have barrage. Now in a full setup build, this would be useful because a wombo combo is really good in this setup as well. So it would actually be useful for that. But since we're just showcasing the Whiskey Foxtrot with the Ripper Mag, no point in getting into this. Do have a little bit into Mario from our dancer class item itself. Most importantly, do have Soltado from our class mod. Very important because this is a passive that you only ever need 1 skill point into. So it saves us having to put in a lot of wasted skill points per se, at least 5 into getting this, but we don't need to do that. So we can spec a little bit more so into our blue tree here. So the blue tree, you know, we got some extra fire right here. We have some ammo regen here. We have, this is honestly pretty nice because we're firing so fast, and this will just allow us to keep the gun a bit more controlled. We can map from a further distance. Gun handling actually is pretty useful. It's also why we have Garza here, and we do have Jacques. Now, Jacques is just real useful as we're getting so much overdrive bonuses, so much rate of fire. And then I do have El Soldado for some free extra gun damage while we are in our overdrive skill, which will be getting buffed insanely more through our dancer, through Soldado, just a lot of free extra gun damage through this skill. So that is our skill tree. Oh, I guess one other thing is that we do have Bullet Buddy Deluxe here, so we can take full advantage of that rate of fire and just get a full instance of just really ripping some mad bullets. A little bit of extra gun damage here. We have Brain Dump just for a little bit of extra passive crit chance on our guns while overdrive is active, which we buffed and increased through other means. So we'll happily take that because we do have the Jacob's part. That is the setup. We have our war paint on. Any of the footage in the first part of this video where we were just describing it, talking about it, that does not have on the war paint. So this is the first time in the video we'll be seeing what it'll do with the war paint. So let's go ahead and pop this. I'm not going to bother using a bullet buddy here. I'm just going to... Oh my god. You know what? Just let it go. Oh my god. Oh my lord. The war paint, you can feel it. It's... Wow. That's just awesome. Point blank period. That was just freaking awesome right there, dude. All right, let's do it again, shall we? Let's let it fly. You're not coming anywhere near me, boy. Oh my! Good God Almighty! Now it's off, but like, good gosh, dude. You fire so many bullets with this weapon like this. It's so crazy. Also, in the perfect world, I would still have my 2 into Lifeblood just for way more survivability, because without our kill spring, we don't really have nearly as much. That also has, you know, the Lifeblood on it as well. So not only do we lose our firmware, but we also are losing our kill spring effect, which is worth mentioning. So let's go ahead for a 3rd time. Pop the war paint. Oh, you're not gonna like that, bud. You're not gonna... Oh, you know what? Yeah. Bullet buddy. Bullet buddy. Bye. Absolutely toasted and roasted, my friend. And here's the boss. Once again, this is why I say it's not a bossing weapon. Also, we're just a lot more fragile with our war paint on, but you can feel that fire rate increase. It's there. How you doing there, boss man? Oh my god, I feel like that rate of fire should be illegal. Like, I feel like that rate of fire is a little bit illegal. Okay, so that's with the war paint. Let's go ahead and throw back on our kill spring here. This way we have our free lifesteal, our passive lifesteal, and we have the actual effect with the healing orbs. And Enrage is also a pretty good passive as well. We're going to go ahead and run through a vault area because that's a pretty mob dense area. And we're going to go have some good old fun. All right, let's have some fun here. So I'm not going to need to actually pop our bullet buddy. I'm going to kind of just... I'm just going to tap fire. Actually, wait, badass? I will use a bullet buddy on the badass. Bye. You see how... Dude, you see why I like this gun? You see what I'm saying? Look at that. Who needs health bars? Oh. Oh. If you don't use the bullet buddy, you get a little bit more duration out of your oh my god. Your Peacebreaker cannons. Oh my. Oh. I love this thing. Since this game came out, I've been a big preacher and fan of how much I like just fast firing weapons. And like when I did the Onslaught video, I was like, yeah, it fires fast, but that's like all it does. And even in the mobbing scenario, it kind of was low-key not that good. But this thing is actually good. And I very much so like it a lot. I didn't know about this combo up until my man Micro told me about it. And since it was Directive Zero this week, I was like, might as well go ahead and take advantage of that. We're going to go farm it, Phosphine get it, and hopefully get the combo. And we got one with Jacobs and a Ripper Mag. Remember, guys, with your Phosphines, once you get the drop, you have the camo. You can put it on any copy of that weapon. It's not like you need the god roll of the weapon to drop and then the phosphine drop on top of that. It's not that bad of RNG. You get the phosphine to drop for that weapon, you have the camo for that weapon, and therefore can put it on any other copy of that weapon. This is just ridiculous. Licensed part system proving why it's so freaking goated right here in this video through the sheer rate of fire of this weapon. Burst weapon that we can normally only fire in a burst. We have the ability to rip it in full auto through the Ripper Mag, which I'll be honest, the Ripper Mag is something I've never like actively sought for on a weapon until this one, because why would I ever want to treat my SMG like a fusion rifle when it's an SMG? But of course, there is always exceptions to every circumstance, or every rule rather. You know, for this game right now, it's primarily dominant by COV and Jacobs licensed parts weapons, right? COV because it has just ridiculous enhancements, and Jacobs because it's the best it's the best like accessory you could get. The fact that COV has an enhancement that gives it guaranteed crits is just absurd. And Jacobs is just such a strong effect. The fact that you can get it on so many different weapons as essentially just a free perk is crazy. So, needless to say, having a weapon where the Ripper is really, really good, it's a nice little bit of a change of pace. I'll be honest, it's a nice little change of pace. Straight up. Now, I'll be honest, bro. You know what manufacturer has zero love in this game and sucks a lot? Don't say. I know you're thinking Atlas. Hyperion in this game has fallen off from the greatness that they were putting out back in Borderlands 3 to this garbage that they have in this game, man. Ooh, they I don't know what happened. I don't know what's up with their new CEO, but they need to get the other man back in charge, because they have fallen off a cliff, man. They have such bad enhancements. Like comparing like the COV enhancements to the Hyperion enhancements, it's like night and day, bro. My bullet hose is better than your bullet hose. Oh my god! UVHM 5, by the way. UVHM 5. Good. Harmothy. I see you're called a badass there, boy. Not so badass when you're dead now, are you, brother? Oh my god. Yeah, dude. Yeah, this game is just dominated by COV and Jacobs licensed weapons. It's like not even close. Faux shizzle, my shizzle. Extra salt on the hizzle. Dr. Pepper, my brother. Another for your mother. Double super size, and don't forget the fries. Like, dude, why is this thing so darn good? Look at... Brother! Alright, I'll briefly show that it's not a bossing weapon real quick. It's very fun, but it's definitely a mobbing weapon. Because, like, a bossing weapon, it can get the job way better done than this gun can, as you can see. Yeah, boys, we're not making it out the trenches like this, okay? Thank you so much for watching the video, fellas. Y'all have a great day. Peace out.